Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back to the OR News broadcast. It's now time for our daily English news edition, Monday through Saturday at 6 p.m. The Socialist Party is holding its highly anticipated Congress today, in which 1,500 delegates will elect the 175 new MPs. This Congress carries special importance after the recent debates over whether the chairman's mandate will be renewed. The issue of Rama's mandate as party leader will be resolved in this Congress. The Prime Minister gave the opening speech at the Assembly today, thanking some of the party's most prominent members. He thanked the chairman of the Socialist Parliamentary Group, Ruci, for his support and advice. He also thanked the former party chairman, Fatos Nano, who is not present in the party Congress today. Rama said, "To begin, I want to thank the first leader of this party, Mr. Fatos Nano. I hope he will join us on the 25th anniversary of the party. I wish I could find the appropriate words to thank him for his great contributions. The issues that have divided us do not make him any less important to the party." Mr. Rama also thanked the Assembly Speaker Edi Rama, his ally in the government and an important figure for the first 13 years of the party. After thanking many of his fellow party members, Rama spoke about the work of the government over the past 30 months. He defended the reforms his government has undertaken, saying that they were necessary and that they never would have been done if the Socialist Party did not take care of them. He said, "Reforms are being made, but there is still much to be done. We have paid the old debts and we are trying to achieve 3.4% economic growth in 2016. We are proud of stopping the financial collapse in Albania. We are proud of the reforms we have already achieved. We will continue with the public-private partnerships which have proven to be successful. We will continue to work with humility for the good of the country," said Rama. He also spoke briefly on the reform in the energy sector, saying that it brought in €40 million to the state budget. He mentioned the tax reform as well, saying that it saved the Albanian people €150 million and increased the assistance for the needy. Mr. Rama spoke about the positive indications in the health and education systems and the reduced unemployment. He said that the government will continue at the same pace in the future reforms, regardless of the critics. Mr. Rama also took the opportunity to attack the opposition. He said that the Democrats have no strategy other than slandering the majority and the government. He encouraged his party members to adopt a new strategy against the political attacks of the Democrats. "This is not the opposition that the country needs," he said. "They don't have any vision, they don't have a program, but they do have the courage to commit slander." Furthermore, the Prime Minister announced that the government will be holding fresh dialogue with the Albanian people to become stronger on the road to the next generation. The Socialist Party Congress was addressed today by one of its most influential figures in the past 25 years, Mr. Ruci, the head of the Socialist Parliamentary Group. He began his speech with a message of thanks for the former leader of the party, Mr. Fatos Nano. He said, "I want to give a special thanks to the man who gave everything to strengthen and increase the Socialist Party. He was put in prison for 4 years just for being our party chairman. He also gave us a lesson in democracy with his resignation in 2005. This person is our former leader, Fatos Nano. Mr. Nano, the Socialist Party will always be your home," said the MP, Ruci. The Assembly Speaker Edi Rama was also invited to give a speech today at the Socialist Party Congress. He left the party 13 years ago because of the lack of democracy, a debate that once again has been renewed within the party ranks. During his speech, the SMI chairman focused primarily on the reforms. In the past 3 years, he said, this alliance has achieved 2 important victories, one in the parliamentary elections and the other in the local elections. This proves that when the left wing is united, it can achieve a great deal. I think that there are many reasons to be proud of our achievement at a time when the country was about to collapse. The reforms that we instigated made it possible for the country to gain the candidate status. Today, we are at the most important moment, the finalization of the justice reform. By realizing this reform, and by adopting the constitutional changes, we will send an important message to the citizens and our partners. This reform will strengthen the rule of law and increase the trust of the foreign and local investors. The electoral reform is also very important to guarantee free and honest elections in Albania, said Mr. Mehta. The Socialist Party Congress is being attended today by a number of foreign dignitaries, some of which were asked to address the assembly. The president of the European Socialist Party, Mr. Sergei Stanishev, made the following statement. "The biggest test for every party is its power," he said. "The test is whether you can keep your promises, whether you can preserve the country's values, make reforms, and provide functional government bodies. I believe that this year will be essential for the ongoing reforms, especially in the justice system. These reforms are crucial to the country's European future. I believe that this year will be the true starting point of the negotiations for EU membership," said Mr. Stanishev. The Italian Prime Minister Matteo Renzi also addressed the Congress through video. He encouraged the Albanian political class to give up its conflict and focus on the European future of the country. On his part, the former British Prime Minister Tony Blair spoke with great optimism. He said that despite the major challenges it faces, Albania is going in the right direction. He said, "We want to see Albania in the EU. This is the destination of the country, I have no doubt. Albania is an example for the Balkans and a great symbol of the European future. The country has undergone dark times, and it deserves a bright future," said Mr. Blair. The President of the European Parliament, Martin Schulz, also spoke to the Congress. He praised the progress so far, but he made it clear that the assessment of the EU will depend on the Albanian reforms. "During my visit to Albania, I saw that there is progress being made," he said. "Nevertheless, remember that the reforms must be done. The EU is ready to assess your progress," said Mr. Schulz. The former Italian Prime Minister D'Alema spoke as well, praising the progress of Albania over the years. He said, "Albania is no longer a country of desperate people, but a growing country with an economy that is integrating with others. Europe needs the freshness that will come from countries like Albania that approach the European perspective with confidence. Europe can be a benefit to you, but you can be much more of a benefit to Europe," said Mr. D'Alema. Another 200 cypress trees were planted today around the artificial lake area, donated by the city of Tirana and by the Bektashi World Headquarters. The trees were planted along the entrance to the park near the University of Geology. Tirana's mayor, Erion Veliaj, took part in the project, together with the Bektashi leader and the head of the Parks and Recreation Department. Mr. Veliaj had this to say, "With this donation, the number of trees we have planted in the lake area goes from 3,000 to 7,000. At the end of the day, all of us are judged by our deeds and not by our words. I believe that our work will be judged by how many trees we have planted," said Mr. Veliaj. He announced that in order to protect and preserve the park, the city will be closing off all the entrances to all motor vehicles. He said that the city will soon be starting an operation to demolish all privately owned buildings that were constructed illegally in the park. That's the end of our edition for this evening. Thanks again for watching, and please join us tomorrow at the same time. Please join us on Monday at the same time for more news in English. Have a great night.